Today's Steelers Talk video is sponsored by RexMD. Go to rexmd.com/chat for up to 90% off generic Viagra and Cialis today. Can't wait to talk about RexMD later on in today's show. And welcome into Steelers Talk, Yinzers. My name is Jack Sperry, and on today's show, I'm going to be breaking down trade ideas for your Pittsburgh Steelers. But before we get into those trade ideas here in just a second, how are you guys feeling right now about the Pittsburgh Steelers? Should they make another move before the start of training camp here in a couple of weeks? If you want them to make another move, type MM. Or if you want them to do nothing and you feel good with where the Steelers roster is at now, go ahead and give me a DM down there in the comment section. All right, so now let's start with the big one here, where all week the biggest story around Steelers Nation has been the potential trade for superstar defensive tackle Arron Donald. Now, the question is this even a realistic possibility, or is this just kind of a silly rumor that will never actually happen in reality? No, Arron Donald, there's no question about it. Even at age 32, he is arguably the best defensive tackle in the National Football League. Every single year of his career, he is graded over 90 on the PFF grading scale, which is absolutely fantastic. And, you know, this guy's not slowing down for anybody. Really, he's going to be leaving at the top of his game whenever he decides to retire. And if the Steelers trade for him, he could end up finishing his career with his hometown team here with the black and gold. You take a look at his numbers over the last couple of years, and of course, this guy's a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate. You look at the sack production, man, 12.5 back there in 2021, 13.5 in 2020. In 2019, 12.5 as well. This guy consistently is among the top stat leaders when it comes to interior pass rushers in the National Football League. I think the 2022 stats are off a little bit there in the sack production. But you look at the PFF grades, they're absolutely fantastic throughout his career. He had a plus 90 PFF grade in his rookie season back in 2014, and that's in the elite category, guys. There's not many players in the National Football League at any position that grade above a 90. He's done it every single year. That is consistency, and that is why he is one of, if not the best defensive players to ever strap on a helmet. And I definitely think that if the Steelers could grab him at age 32 at the trade deadline this year, I mean, the potential for the Steelers pass rush is absolutely limitless. And I think Arron Donald, if he wants to play for the Steelers for the next 3 to 4 years, could absolutely anchor this pass rush to be one of the best in NFL history. With Alex Highsmith, Cam Heyward, and TJ Watt already on the roster, Highsmith is getting close to an extension. If the Steelers can make it work here and put these four guys on the same pass rush, nobody is stopping this. Plain and simply, Cam Heyward, TJ Watt, and Arron Donald alone, those three guys draw double teams all the time. You need to double team all three of those guys to stop them. You can only double team one of these guys consistently, and if all three of these guys are attacking opposing quarterbacks, they are going to get home more often than not, and it's going to be straight up unstoppable. However, there are some legit concerns with the possibility of trading for Arron Donald. Number one is that he's age 32. He's 32 years old, so he's on the waning years of his career, and because of that, he's already flirted with retirement. Of course, after the Rams won the Super Bowl, he talked about extensively how he was considering a retirement, and there's definitely the possibility that the Steelers end up giving some very valuable pieces to the Rams for somebody they only have for a year or two. So that's a legitimate concern. And then also, you need to make the money work, because it's looking like Alex Highsmith is going to get that extension before the start of the 2023 season. And because of that, the 2024 cap is going to be tough to manage with Arron Donald on the roster. Now, it is a pretty manageable contract. There's a bunch of guaranteed dollars that the Rams are going to be on the hook for, even if they trade Donald. But even then, you're probably going to have to give up a player in a trade with a big contract in order to make it work. So coming up here, I have 2 Arron Donald trade ideas for you guys to consider. But first, let's have a word from our sponsor at RexMD. Fellas, do you sometimes lack confidence in the bedroom? Do you wish you could have a more fulfilling sex life? Well, you're not alone. That's why we're excited to tell you about RexMD, the online source for men's wellness. RexMD offers an easy and discreet way to get the medication you need for ED without having to visit a doctor's office. With just a few clicks, you can have your medication delivered straight to your door and at a fraction of the cost of traditional pharmacies. RexMD's team of licensed physicians will work with you to find the right treatment plan, and their medication is made in the United States, so you can trust its quality. Plus, their customer support team is available 24/7 to answer any questions or concerns you may have. So, if you're ready to take control of your sex life and say goodbye to ED, head on over to rexmd.com/chat and start your consultation today. Take advantage of their best deal ever that they've ever offered and save up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. Go to rexmd.com/chat for this limited time deal. Starter packs of generic Viagra or Cialis are now available for our listeners to get started. That's rexmd.com/chat for up to 90% off. All right, so now I have two potential Arron Donald trade ideas that the Steelers could consider offering Los Angeles if they make Arron Donald available at the 2023 NFL trade deadline. A little bit different flavors here. So the first one is going to be based around a first-round draft pick and a player, because I don't think that the Rams are going to take anything less than that. So for this first one, Arron Donald would become a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for the 2024 first-round draft pick and Larry Ogunjobi to clear some room off of the books for 2024 and fit him in there. Now, I'm only doing this trade if Kenny Pickett is balling out and you don't need that 2024 draft pick, and you know that for sure, right? You know that the Steelers are like, they have one loss at that point, maybe two losses. They're competing for a title, and that first-round draft pick is going to be later in the first round anyway, especially if you add Arron Donald to the roster. But even then, man, 32 years old, it's definitely pushing it for me. If I were Omar Khan, I'd have a tough time making a decision on that. But then another one is based around only players, no draft picks, okay? You could also offer Larry Ogunjobi and wide receiver Diontae Johnson in exchange for Arron Donald. Now, is the value here compensatory? You'll have to answer that for yourselves. But Diontae Johnson, somebody that's a really good route runner, somebody that can get open for Matthew Stafford or whoever the future quarterback of that team is going to be. And Larry Ogunjobi takes Arron Donald's spot on the Rams defense right now. So the Rams could consider something like that. My guess is they'll probably still want a draft pick of some sort, but this is definitely another option to consider if you are the Los Angeles Rams and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let me know which trade you would prefer, number one or number two. Let me know down there in the comment section. Are you not willing to give up that first round pick? Would you rather trade players? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. What you guys think. Give me a 1 or 2 down there in the comment section. All right, so now let's go over some more trade ideas, this time from Fanatics, who have made a connection here between the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, a fan cited who made the connection that the Steelers and the Broncos ended up trading Malik Willis over to the Malik Reed, I should say, to the Steelers last year. So there's a connection there. They know each other, all these different things. And they come up with 3 new trade ideas between these two teams. Going to be breaking them down here right now. So the first one involves newly signed edge rusher Marcus Golden, where they suggest that the Broncos would send a 6th-round draft pick in exchange for Marcus Golden. And for me, guys, this one is just plain and simply not going to happen. The Steelers, they brought in Marcus Golden for a reason. All right, they brought him in because they like him. They want him on the team. They brought him in to address a need, which was that rotational edge rusher role. And unless they're getting a really good draft pick in exchange for him, or they're getting somebody to replace his spot in the rotation, this one just doesn't make sense at all from FanSided, at least in my opinion. Then another one here where they have, it's around Mason Cole, the center, where he would be going to the Denver Broncos, and the Broncos would send a 4th-round draft pick and Lloyd Cushenberry to the Steelers. And just like the last one, this one is just silly. Why would the Steelers even consider this one? Mason Cole is an excellent center. Why would you trade him away for somebody in Lloyd Cushenberry, who has not been a good player in the National Football League? Now, sure, James Daniels, Isaac Seumalo, they have played center before and they can move over, but I think that the way the Steelers' offensive line is constructed right now is fantastic, and I don't want to ruin that by trading Mason Cole to the Denver Broncos, and I really don't see this happening in my opinion, because you look at the offensive line right now, I think it's really freaking good, right? It's really, really tailored to Matt Canada's scheme, what he wants to do. Broderick Jones, the new guy there at left tackle, Dan Moore Jr. could be competing to start at left tackle to start the season, but other than that, your 4 starters are solid in place, at least in my opinion. And I'm super excited to see how this unit holds up here in 2023. Then the last one here involves Josey Jewell, the inside linebacker, who has been a pretty solid linebacker for the Broncos here over the last couple of seasons. And the Steelers would send a 5th-round draft pick to the Broncos in exchange for a 7th-rounder and Josey Jewell to kind of round out the rest of their inside linebacker group. And for me, this is another swing and a miss. If you're going to go and get a linebacker, I think you want somebody that's going to be more geared towards the coverage aspect of the game. That is what Josey Jewell does the worst in his game at this point. He's a decent blitzer, good run defender. But you look at Cole Holcomb and Landon Roberts, I think you are fine with these 2 men in the middle of your defense. You hope Mark Robinson can come through this year and have a little bit of a breakout season. You've got some nice depth there with Tanner Muse and Nick Kwiatkowski. I don't think that this unit is going to blow anyone away. It's not going to be the best in the National Football League by any stretch, but with the pass rush and the secondary that the Steelers have, alongside the great play calling and scheming of Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin, this unit is not going to make or break the Steelers' defense in 2023, and I think it'll be just fine heading into next season. So who do you want the Steelers to trade for this season? It could be now. It could be at the trade deadline. Who is somebody you want the Pittsburgh Steelers to add to their roster this season? Can't wait to see the names that you put down there in the comment section. All right, that'll be it for me today, guys. Really do appreciate all the support. I will see you guys later. Make sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you guys for the support, and until next time, here we go, Steelers.